Real Madrid versus Sevilla played on Sunday to a 2-2 draw. Super disappointing result if you're a Real Madrid fan. After Atletico and Barcelona tied 0-0 the day before, it left the door wide open for Real Madrid to get a victory against Sevilla and move into first place of La Liga, take control of the La Liga race. And unfortunately for Real Madrid, they tied 2-2 against Sevilla, and they're still chasing Atletico Madrid. But there was a lot of controversy in this game. The game was 1-1, I believe, when Real Madrid looked like they had a counterattack. Benzema against the keeper. He goes around him, draws a penalty. It looks like Sevilla's keeper is going to be sent off. It looks like Real Madrid is about to take a 2-1 lead, and they're going to go top of the table. But then VAR comes, interferes, and they check the previous corner kick in the Real Madrid box. And it shows that Militao, when he was trying to header the ball, he turns his back to the ball. His arm is extended. It hits him in the back of his in the forearm, I believe. It might have hit his shoulder and then his forearm. And then that kind of sparked the Real Madrid counterattack, like 1 or 2 rebounds after that. And when VAR checked it, they take the goal. They take the penalty away from Real Madrid. They take the possible red card away from the Sevilla goalkeeper. And they give a penalty to Sevilla. Rakitic steps up, 2-1 Sevilla. What a change of event. And this would not be so upsetting. Obviously, there was some contact of the ball in the hand, and the way it's been called throughout Europeans' top 5 leagues this season, like, all right, that does have merit for a penalty. Like, that's not why Real Madrid fans are kind of like super upset. The reason they're upset is because earlier in the game, there's a similar play where the Sevilla defender goes up in a manner where he could kind of tell what he's doing more. Like, he's more aware of what he's doing. And the ball hits him in the forearm in front of his body. So he's able to see where the ball is coming, and the ball hits him in the forearm. He kind of turns a little bit, but it's in front of him. And they don't call that a penalty. It's kind of away from his body, kind of hits him like right here, and then it deflects off him. And for that one, VAR didn't interfere. The ref didn't look at it. Maybe Real Madrid should have protested it a little harder. But that one just gets completely ignored. No one from up top calls the referee. It's, hey, you know what? Take a look at this possible penalty. And then with the Militao one, that one gets called a penalty. And it just seems like it was super unfair decision by the referee. It didn't look like they were calling the game equally. It looked like it kind of felt like they had an agenda against Real Madrid. Luckily for Real Madrid, they get a deflection goal in like the 93rd minute. They're able to tie the game 2-2, so they don't drop all 3 points. They're able to salvage 1 point, so they stay tied with Barcelona in points. Real Madrid has 75, Barcelona 75. Real Madrid has the tiebreaker, so they're ahead of them. Atletico Madrid has 77, so they're 2 points ahead of Real Madrid. If Atletico Madrid tie a game and Real Madrid wins out, Real Madrid would still be the champions. So we'll see how this La Liga race finishes. But back to the point, the Militao penalty, a similar situation, I believe, happened against Atletico Madrid, where Real Madrid was calling for a penalty. Almost the same situation. Ball hits the defender while he's turning in the back, and the same call doesn't get called for Real Madrid. So it just seems like it low-key feels like the La Liga is conspiring against Real Madrid for them not to win the league. It has still been said that Real Madrid and Barcelona and Juventus still want to push with the plans to make the European Super League happen. So the rumors that are going around that La Liga is conspiring against Real Madrid for them not to win La Liga, they might have some merit to them, just because La Liga probably does not want Real Madrid to win, because they're one of the teams that all 3 of the teams wanted to be in the European Super League, but Real Madrid has Florentino Perez, who is like the driving force behind the European Super League, and he's the driving force behind them still trying to make this league happen. So it would not surprise me if La Liga is trying to punish Real Madrid in a low-key but not so low-key way. And it just seemed like this was a super unfair decision. I think the right decision, once that first penalty didn't get checked, once that one didn't get called for VAR, I think what should have happened is this Militao one is like, okay, it's similar. It hit his hand. He's not looking. Let's just let it go. But I think the ref was in a tough position, if I'm being 100% transparent. If that Militao handball didn't happen, or like if it happened and if the play just finished on a, like, let's say like a Sevilla throw in, or like a Real Madrid throw in, or a Real Madrid kick, then maybe the ref doesn't call the penalty. But because Real Madrid got the counter tag, that led to a Real Madrid penalty of their own, and it probably was going to lead to a goalkeeper send-off. Then at that point, that's probably why he called the penalty. He's like, whoa, like me not calling this penalty has super consequential results on the other side. It's not just like, if I don't call this penalty, it's going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid, and it's not the end of the world. It's like, if I don't call this penalty, I got to call a penalty on the other side, and Sevilla are probably going to go down a man. So because of that, I think that's why he was forced to call that penalty. Still super sketchy. Still seems like they had it out for Real Madrid. I am glad that Real Madrid played with some heart. They played with some... After the penalty, it did look like nothing was going to happen, but when they tied the game 1-1, it did look like Real Madrid was going to be the team to score that second goal first. So I was happy to see that from Real Madrid. They played with some urgency, much different than the game midweek against Chelsea. That game against Chelsea was embarrassing. I don't know what Zidane was trying with that back five line. I don't know where their hearts were in it or not. It just looked like they were comfortable, just maybe going for a 0-0 at the Chelsea stadium at sorry, I'm fumbling the name, but it just looked like they weren't eager to go look for the game. It looked like they were content with just, showing up, and like if something happened, like, all right, cool. But they did show some urgency against Sevilla, so I was glad to see that. And we'll see how this La Liga race finishes. It's been a crazy season. It's going to be a crazy finish. Hopefully, as a Real Madrid fan, I hope that Atletico Madrid loses points. Their form has been up and down all season. And I'm just happy to see another team being in the race too. This kind of takes Sevilla out of the race. If they would have won, they would have gone up to 73. They would have been 4 points behind, still had an outside shot. Now with 3 games left, 6 points behind is looking very rough for Sevilla. But they had a great season, so shout out for Sevilla. They're not responsible for the ref's decision. And for Real Madrid, at least they got a tie and it wasn't a loss.